Hello and welcome to Azariah's Studio. My name is Sarah. I am the artist and designer behind Azariah's Studio. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to join your yarn. This will be my first video with chapters, so if you're looking for a particular type of join, you can go to that chapter. The first chapter is going to be the spit and splice, and then we will have the magic join, and then we will have the Russian join. So pick the chapter you want or just watch the whole thing. So up first is spit and splice. Spit and splice only works with things that will felt. It will not work with acrylic. It won't work with plants. It won't work with silk. It will work with alpaca, mohair, cashmere. This is wool. So the first thing you're going to do to the end of your yarn is take apart to where you have all the plies showing. This one is a 3-ply. I'm going to do the other one too. And I did different colors so that you could see what the joins look like. And if you have different colors of wool, when you're if you're changing color and it's not going to matter how it shows, then you can do it this way as well. If you don't want your color change to show, you might want to use one of these other joins, or just drop color 1 and pick up color 2. Okay, so 3 plies separated on both of them. So because it's a 3-ply, I'm going to pull 1 ply out of one, and I'm going to pull 2 plies out of the other. I'm just going to pull 1 ply out of the yellow. I'm going to pull 2 plies out of the red. If this were a 4-ply, I would have pulled 2 from each. So it's about half. When you have an odd number, you have to make a decision. Okay. So I've got 1 ply here. I've got 2 here. You want them to be about the same length. I mean, this doesn't have to be like crazy exact or anything. Some overlap in either direction is not going to be a big deal, especially if you're putting together 2 yarns of the same color. Okay. I'm not sure how well this part's going to show up on camera. This is where the spit part comes in. You're going to lick right here. And you see that my hand's a little shinier than it was. Then you're going to lay your join right on top, and then the friction's going to make them go together. And you can see they're together. I'm tugging pretty good. They weren't dry enough yet. Let's try that again. But you can see they're fuzzier. They lost some of their definition and what have you. Don't pull on it till it's dry. You also want to make sure your hands are really clean when you do this, and you'll find out just how clean your hands aren't. Okay. I'm not going to pull on it. So that's spit and splice. Right, next is magic knot. This is better for slick yarns, for plants, things that won't felt, for acrylics, for other synthetics. So I've got my 2 ends here. I'm going to take the red end and I'm going to tie a knot around the yellow end. I'm going to do 1 more. Okay. Now I'm going to take this yellow end and tie it the same way around the red one. Maybe. If I can get in my mind how to do it. I didn't leave enough room. Make sure and leave yourself enough room. If you didn't leave enough room, you can pull on it, make it longer. Okay. Remember, don't tie the yellow to the red, tie the yellow to itself. Okay, there's 1 knot. Now we'll do a 2nd knot. Okay, everybody's tied to each other. You can see the red knot around the yellow and the yellow knot around the red. Now I'm just going to pull their two ends, and they're going to come together, and they're not coming apart. Now you have choices with these ends here, depending on what your piece is. If it's going to be a shawl, something that's lacy, needs to look nice on both sides, but you're using a fiber that cannot be spliced together like I just showed you, or like using the Russian join, I would leave long tails here, and I would hold the two together when I knit these sections or crocheted them, and treat it as if it were one yarn. It will be slightly thicker in that area, but that will be the best way to hide those ends. If this is going to be inside of a hat or inside of like a cup cozy or something like that where it's not going to matter as much, I would leave them short, and I would just leave them. It's not going to matter. The only time that matters is if it's going to be judged at some kind of a showing. Don't leave ends of any kind. Always hide them. All right. For the Russian join, which I'm not sure why it's called that, it probably at some point originated there. I learned this at a fiber festival before COVID. You'll need your two yarns, obviously, and a tapestry needle. Thread one of the yarns into the tapestry needle. You can't do this with slicker yarns. You can't do it with really, really thin yarns unless you get a really, really tiny tapestry needle. It might work with singles depending on the fiber. Let me just show you, and I think you'll get some understanding as to why. So you're going to take the tapestry needle and shove it into the middle of all these plies. And you're just going to keep doing this. You're splitting the yarn, which is the goal. Okay. You're going to take them off the tapestry needle. Hold on to the loop. I try to get everybody off. Then I hold on to this loop up here. Pull the tapestry needle through the rest of the way. You don't want to lose any of this. You don't want to lose this loop, and you don't want to lose this tail. Lay that down. Pick up your other color, other yarn, be it color changing or just a new one. Thread the tapestry needle. This one goes through this loop. That's important. Don't forget to do that. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to stab it into here. I want to do this for about an inch, inch and a half or so. And this one is wanting to unply. Okay. Same thing. Get them all off. Hold the loop. Pull the tapestry needle. Okay. Now I have this. Now you want to pull those tails. Then you can pull the long tails. And your two yarns are together. And when you're knitting, you just keep knitting. I knit in these tails as far as I can get them and just treat all this as if it's one continuous strand. Let's see if I can show it and it'll be clear. And that's what the connection looks like. And that's the Russian join. I think now that you've seen how it works, you can understand why probably not bamboo. Some cottons might be okay. It depends on how tightly they're spun. This is another one where you want to sample it before you make a final decision. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Happy making.